I'd like to show you how you can interact with the code in this course. But before I do that, there's a few things I want to tell you about the course so that you can get the most out of it. This course is hands-on and fully interactive. That means not only are some of the code snippets in here on the web that you can go and interact with them, but you can post your questions. I'll answer your questions. Other students will come in, they'll see it, they'll get help, and some of them will actually answer the questions as well. I like this to be a community where everyone can come in and learn from each other and kind of discover the other journeys that other people are taking, because people coming into the course are going to be at different skill levels. So if you get involved with any of the discussions going on, not only are you going to learn more, but you'll also meet other developers and find out where they're at, what skills they might have, and any kind of tips and tricks that they've discovered specifically about Angular, and maybe even .NET tips and tricks and resources that they have that they might want to post into the discussion as well. I'd like everyone to really get involved that way because it's only going to enhance your learning. That kind of engagement kind of imprints what you've learned onto your brain so that you walk out of here for sure with a skill set. So you got that in your toolbox and you leave with it. So please post your questions in the discussion and you can expect a pretty quick reply from me. And also, once you've gone through the course, I definitely appreciate a review because this lets others know, is this course really worth taking? Is it worth my time? So if you put a review on Udemy, it's going to add a lot of credibility to the course. And I certainly appreciate it because I want more people to come in and take the course. And as the course grows that way, you're only going to get more out of it because you're going to come back and you'll see the discussions are growing. There's more in there. There's more to learn from. There's more people to interact with. And it gets really fun that way because the more people that come in and interact, it's just this bigger community that we get, more insights we get, and more people coming in. And that's going to really help the course take off a lot, and it's going to help you get a lot out of it as well. And one other thing, if you find any mistakes or any areas that you say, hey, this is wrong or this is off, or something with the audio maybe, or anything like that, please also post that into a discussion and I'll address it, I'll fix it. Because I want the course to be solid. I don't want there to be any problems. I put a lot of effort into the course to make sure it's a high production value so that you get really great audio, you get really great video, and the explanations are clear. The samples that you have are also clear, and there's an ending goal so that you start out and you end up with something and it's not just a bunch of meandering. I have the quizzes in there as well to help solidify what you're learning through each of these sections, so please go through those. Okay, so the interactive code, you'll see now I've added interactive code to some of these modules, and these are mainly going to be the modules that are purely Angular. So I can't really do interactive code on these here that are really heavy with ASP.NET MVC, but you do have the project file right here in this lecture, Interacting with .NET. And that's the .NET solution. You can download and open it. I'm using Visual Studio 2013, so you should be able to open it in other versions as well. Now, the interactive code, when you find one that has this and you go into that lesson, if you look over here, this little down arrow, click it, you'll see this link. And if you click that link, I'm going to pause this video. All right. If you click this link, it's going to open up a new tab. This is going to bring you over to Plunker. And I'm going to show you how this works real quick. So it's going to load the editor. And here's the snippet. It's going to start off with preview. And if you look in the URL, you can see here we're in this preview mode, which is this live preview. So what's happening here is I've got my code over here. This is my editor. Over here is basically the browser. So if I do testing, you can see it's outputting it right there in real time as if this were a web browser. So that's really helpful to learn, because you can go in here and you can change this. You can say, well, what happens if I make this a different model? And I type in, you can see nothing happens with that. Then you know, well, I need to go do this. And then your output will show. You can go in here, you can do other things. So this would render immediately. You get the 2 right there. And don't worry about modifying the original code here, because it's Fart, so it's not going to modify it. You're creating your own instance when you do this. And what I would suggest is, for each of these little interactive snippets, create your own. So go to New, and you'll open up a new editor. I'm not going to save that. And it would actually just save it for you, so it'd kind of be like your own. Let's see, what is it wanting me to do? You have unsaved, change the action, reset your plunk. Are you sure you would like to proceed? Yes. So I click no before I want to proceed, so I'm going to click yes. And you can see here I start off with a brand new one. And if I type in here, this is another test, it's going to render immediately over here. Now, you'll need to add Angular, of course, into your references. So I'll show you how to do that. You can go over here to the right. You'll go to Find External Libraries, this book. It's going to open up all these different libraries. All you do is click the wand, and it's going to automatically add Angular. So there you go. Now you have Angular. I'll go back to Preview. And now I can go up here and just do a little bit of Angular to show you how fast this is to set up. And right here I'll do 5 + 5. And there we go. Now you can come in, and basically what I would suggest is for each of these, try to go ahead and create, well, it's not that I've gone into a new editor. What you might want to do is open 2 tabs or put 2 browsers side by side and look at the original version from the course, and then try to build it. Try to build your own, and try to build it eventually without even looking, and create that code snippet and that functionality on your own. And that's going to help you remember this information and walk away with it, so that it's kind of becoming second nature. So these interactive snippets are really good for that. Just try to create it on your own and get that to work. And if you have questions, please do post those back, because believe me, if you have the question, other people are going to have it as well. So just post it back to the discussion forum and let me know what your question is. And other people might want to get involved and chime in and try to figure out what the issue is. And don't be afraid to stretch yourself and to do new things with Angular. Even if it's an Angular topic that I haven't covered in the course, go ahead and post it. And we'll stretch the course even that way, and discover some new things about Angular. So this is very much oriented towards .NET developers. So if you do have questions about .NET and Angular, or just Angular, go ahead and post them. Let me know what your questions are, and other people may chime in as well, and that would be great. And again, if you find problems, just post that to the discussion. Let me know. It'll get fixed. And I definitely appreciate a review in Udemy, so that other developers see the course and they'll know it's worth their time or not. So thanks, and I hope you'll find these interactive code snippets useful, engaging, and very helpful as well.